Works better if you don't drop it, but it happens. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Drop Clutch Garage. Today I'm going to be working on the completion of the AOD conversion. I got a few more parts in that I was waiting for. I'll go ahead and show them to you now. All right, so we were waiting for the kickdown cable. Finally came. It was on back order for quite a while. So we'll go ahead and get that installed. And then also I went ahead and went with a much more solid option for the shift linkage. This one looked very highly rated. Upon my research, a lot of people use this one and love it. So we'll go ahead and get this installed and see how it functions. Also came with instructions, so let's get to it. All right, guys, first step, we're gonna go ahead and remove the transmission pan. All right, next, guys, we'll remove these arms. We're gonna go ahead and remove this nut. We then have to go ahead and drop the filter, the transmission filter, so we can gain access to the inside here. There's gonna be a roll pin we have to remove, and then another nut off the end of this shaft to be able to pull this shaft out and replace it with our new one. You guys, you don't absolutely have to remove the filter, but it does give you just a bit more access. Especially when you're trying to reinstall the shaft. There's a spring in there that can be a little tricky. So we'll pop that off, get it out of the way. Cool. Cool. We'll give everything a quick dab so nothing's dripping on us. As you may notice, not much transmission fluid came out because I have yet to fill it. But once we go ahead and finish this job, we will be filling it back up. All right, guys, as you can see, there's a roll pin right here that goes right through that shaft. That's the first thing we're gonna pull out. All right, there it is. All right, guys, next we're gonna remove this tensioned lever. Works better if you don't drop it, but it happens. All right, guys, and there's a nut right here on the end of the shaft. We're gonna have to loosen that up and remove it. There we go. Go ahead and thread that nut off all the way. And guys, there's a spring here at the end of the shaft we're gonna have to remove. Just make sure and take note of the orientation of it, or take a quick photo so you know how to get it right back where it belongs. But yeah, we're gonna have to remove that to be able to unthread this nut all the way off the shaft. All right, with that spring out, we'll go ahead and remove the nut on the end of the shaft here. This will now allow us to pull the shaft out. There we are. Pull this out. Go ahead and grab our new one. Guys, I believe the orientation that I want this is it pointing up. But what's nice is if that doesn't work out, I have these 3 screws here and I'll be able to adjust it without having to drop the pan off. You can see. All right, guys, I have the new lever installed. As you can see, got that spring properly seated. That nut is now tight. I'll probably have to reorient that lever once we get everything else all buttoned up. So we'll work on that now. All right, so we got that lever back installed. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the filter back up and get the pan back on. Hey guys, don't forget to go ahead and throw in the roll pin. Job done. All right guys, so we have our lever pointed up, so we have it orientated properly, it's in park. Our gear selector lever's in park as well. And our linkage is just a bit too long. It does say in the instructions that you will probably need to cut it down for your application. Looks like if I take an inch off of each side, that should get me just where I need to be. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and cut an inch off of each side. I'll keep that nut on, so when I thread it out, it'll clean up those threads after I've cut it. Then it'll make it easier for this joint to thread back on. Let's go ahead and cut it and get it installed. All right guys, so we have the linkage fully installed. Like I said before, I did have to cut an inch off of each side of the threaded rod. I got it fully adjusted now. Ran it through the gears, it shifts smoothly, it's solid. It's 1,000 times better than the linkage that we had before. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description below if you'd like to give this one a try. I highly recommend it. All right, now we'll get started with that kickdown cable. All right guys, now we'll go ahead and get that kickdown cable installed. Go ahead and remove this bolt. This will hold up the kickdown cable. Comes with a bolt, a lock washer, and a spacer to replace that bolt. All right, so we have a bolt, lock washer, and spacer. We'll pop through this bracket and spacer on the other side. All right guys, so we got our bracket snugged up. And go ahead and attach this. It came with a nice aluminum nut to secure it down. All right, we'll go ahead and snug that up and that'll be complete. All right guys, the final thing that we need to do to complete this AOD conversion actually has to do with the exhaust system. This is the factory exhaust. I wanted to run it just so it has that OEM look. So we have the factory manifolds, factory reproduction H-pipe, and then same with the exhaust vac. The only modification we're doing to it is going to be running Flowmaster mufflers, just so we can have that great sound. So obviously the AOD is a larger transmission than normal, and it hits the pan in this general area. So what I'm going to do is cut this merge pipe. I believe if I cut it and then add in more material, that should solve our problem to kind of space this out a little bit. And then the rest of the exhaust will have to be slightly modified to accommodate that, which shouldn't be that big a deal. And then while we're doing this to the exhaust, I'm gonna go ahead and install an O2 bun to run the fuel injection. I'm gonna put it right here. This will be on the right side of the car. Left side has the power steering box in the way. But I have plenty of clearance here. It kind of comes up to right over the frame rail. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drill that, weld on the bung there. We'll cut the merger pipe and then get it bolted up and kind of see where we're at and how much more material we need to add. All right guys, so it came with a bun that could be clamped on with a high temp gasket, and I wanted to weld it on, so I went ahead and cut down that bracket. I drilled the 3/4 inch hole above center line and at a 10-degree angle. And I'm just gonna go ahead and weld that around just so it's a cleaner installation. I'm sure the clamps work just fine, but I'd rather have it welded on and not have to deal with it. All right, we got that fully welded in. Looks pretty good. Shouldn't have any leaks from it. Now we'll go ahead and cut that merger pipe and get it installed and see how much we have to lengthen it. Alrighty guys, this is what I came up with the H pipe. I ended up putting in an extra 2 inches in the merge pipe there, and that clears the pan of the transmission. That was a big issue before. Also clears the cross member. It's gonna push out the distance between my outlets here. So I'm gonna have to make some adjustments when I go and attach the mufflers, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. I'll just go ahead and adjust that intermediate pipe, and that way I'll have the mufflers in the factory location and just make the adjustment to the intermediate pipe. So there we go, guys. All right, guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We got the rest of the AOD conversions sorted, as well as the exhaust. So we have nothing else interfering with the exhaust. We'll be able to complete that system all the way back. I do have some Flowmaster 40 series mufflers we're gonna throw on there. So it should sound pretty epic. And guys, I do wanna tell you about our Teespring store. I'll leave the link in the description below. You can check that out, grab yourself some Drop Clutch Garage gear. We just threw a hoodie up there for the colder weather. And again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Take care.